I think it was 32 years ago that the scene I'm about to describe to you took place, and it still moves me. One of the most beautiful examples of this I've ever seen. I was in the Philippines on a mission trip with a basketball team, and it was when I was in college, and we would go into towns and we would share the gospel at halftime, and the whole town would come out, and we were an American team, so we usually won, and I was the leading scorer on the team, so I got a lot of the press, and I got in the newspaper, and they did interviews with me and all this kind of stuff, which was awesome because I was a scrub back here in the States, but there I was like a star. It was really fun. And so I was getting a little full of myself, to be quite honest. I liked being the number one chicken. It's kind of fun. And we were doing our quiet time one day, and we were in this town called Boholon. It's the place where God grabbed my heart for ministry, actually. And there were 5 people in the little church in this town, 4 adults and 1 little child, 1 little boy who had leprosy. And it was grotesque. It had eaten away large parts of his body. His face was hard even to look at. And as he walked down the street, everyone literally ran away from him. No one wanted to be touched by this kid. He was an untouchable in every real sense. And we were having our quiet times one morning. We would all go off by ourselves, and we'd open our Bible, and we'd go through this little quiet time that we were supposed to do. And as I was having my quiet time, I looked up, and I saw my buddy Randy. Randy was from my team in college, actually. And he's having his quiet time, too. And as he's having his quiet time, I see the leper boy walking by him. And I just watched. And Randy says, "Hey." And the little boy stops. And Randy puts his Bible down, puts his notebook down. He goes, little kid didn't know what to do. And it's like, come. Slowly started to walk towards him, and as he got close, Randy reached out and grabbed the little stubs that used to be his hands, grabbed the stub, and pulled him in, and pulled him into his lap, and took him and put his grotesque face against his chest and rocked him back and forth. I wouldn't go within 15 feet of that kid. And here, one of the other guys on my team expressed the love of Jesus as Jesus expressed himself through him in such a beautiful way. I wondered if that boy had ever been touched by someone loving like that before. And you say, well, Pete, what difference does a moment like that make? I have no idea. What I do know is it makes a much bigger difference than just letting him walk by. That I know. So here's my encouragement to you this week. And I want you to try and imagine what this might look like. Here's my encouragement to you this week. My guess is after a sermon like this, the Holy Spirit is going to bring someone into your orbit who you would ordinarily consider to be beneath you. When you see that person, the Spirit says, there he is, there she is. Okay, just have your eyes open, be aware, and then just pray, Holy Spirit, how would you want to love them through me, and see what he says. And whatever idea he gives you, just step into it. Walk in obedience, allow him to do it. Try to imagine the impact on our community if this entire church was available to that this week. That sounds like the church being the church. Imagine how many people would say, why are you even talking to me? This is so unusual in our culture. People would be like, why are you reaching out to me? What a great opportunity to talk about the one who reached out to us.